Where is Guy?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't keep him. I should be asking you. And you asking me where is Guy? So silly. I don't know. I don't keep the man. But he should be here because you're buying him booze, aren't you?
That's nonsense. When did this start?
Say it again. Let me say it again. He's going to appear. I bet you're going to buy Guy booze today.
No. Not happening.
I feel like that's
not happening.
Sorry, guys, but I'm sorry.
All you had to do was hear about free beer.
Hey. I actually want to get more beers. That's why I'm late.
You paid for them?
Did you pay for them?
Is water wet?
See?
No, water is not wet. We've had this argument before. Water in itself is not wet. Water wets other surfaces. Again, from the water expert. Take my word.
Ask me again.
Did you pay for the beers?
Is water wet?
From the water expert. Bring beer.
No, mommy. I'll just bring the extra one. These are the substitutes who have come in for the main course.
Okay. Yeah. I'll bring your opinion.
What's going on?
Wait,
I think you guys only started without me.
Yeah.
It seems you started without us too.
Until I had to first make sure it was
the right task, come on.
temperature.
Wow.
Laura, Anne-Marie, why must you start with fights, man? Can't you just be happy?
I didn't start with fights. He just asked me where you were. I said, as long as we talk about him buying you drinks, you'll appear. And
Before you came,
Hey.
Anne was giving me a very sad story. Please say that story again.
It's so sad. Makes me so upset. And it just happened here, next door.
What happened?
Where?
Kenya.
Oh,
Kenya?
God. Now what have the Kenyans done?
There's a gentleman. He was a police officer. I think his name was Patrick Nyapara or something like that. And he had his girlfriend that he put through school. 4 years of university. Took care of her.
Was he a married man?
That part I'm not sure.
Okay, continue.
That part I'm not sure. But he put her through school, 4 years of school. And when she was done, she said she wouldn't marry him.
So he was paying for her everything.
Everything.
School fees wise,
taking care of her. 4 years. Under the guise of, I will marry you once I'm done.
Once I graduate,
she finished. She said
she
no.
ran away.
And he got very upset with this. And he shot her 47 times.
Because he's a police officer.
47 times. Now, there's a video circulating. I don't know if it's of that. But if it is, it was gruesome. It was horrible.
So the reason for his shooting her is because she
didn't live up to her end of the bargain.
Her end of the bargain. We've agreed. For 4 years, I take care of you. In the end, you marry me. End of 4 years, she says no. He gets upset.
Damn.
47.
It actually, okay, that's a sad story. And you really put us in a very funky mood.
Do you think that the 47 is indicative of anything?
I think
because she was dead at the second bullet.
Probably.
Yeah, why 45 more times?
He just kept firing until the clip was empty. That is my understanding.
Till the bullets were finished.
Because now that is an emotional thing. You know, most times when it's a hit, it will be like 1 or 2 strategically placed bullets, or 3, maximum 5. But to 47, that was
rage.
anger.
That's rage. Ultimate damage. That's.
He spent 470,000 Kenya shillings. For every bullet is 1,000.
Okay.
I don't like you.
Oh, and he was arrested, yes?
Yes, he was.
He was arrested.
Yes, he was.
Okay. It brings me back here. Actually, it's a very good point that you bring up. It brings me here to a situation that took place here in Uganda, our very own pearl of Africa. There was one Richard Tumwine.
Also killed somebody?
No. Thank God. Thank God, no. So he was also dating a lady by the name of Fortunate. And he was paying her school fees. Putting her through school. Yeah? 5 years.
Even more than the other guy.
With the agreement, and basically, we are going to do the quadrilla and get married.
Upon graduation.
Yes. So the guy is putting his dime. He knows I'm going to get my lovely wife. She's going to be educated. She's going to be a shampoo man.
And it was the LDC, right?
LDC.
He was going to marry a lawyer.
A lawyer. You know the story.
Yes.
Gwe. After the 5 years, LDC downloading, money being spent, money going out, nothing coming in. 5 years down the road, when he's ready to say,
I do.
No one said, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to marry somebody else.
I am going to marry another lawyer who I met in LDC.
Probably. By the way, probably. Those LDC hours are long.
But he did not get a gun. He did not go and shoot her. He went to the courts of law.
Nice.
I mean, after all, you're a lawyer. Let's see how well you hold up.
You get out of this shit.
I paid for you. Let us see.
The court ruled in his favor.
Oh, good.
And they said this woman should pay back the 10, because he had spent about 10 million shillings.
Pay back
the 10 million he had put in you.
Not plus emotional damage of another 20.
Just the money that he gave you, pay it back.
No, I think it was actually, he spent 9 point, well, they could trace 9.4 of it. Then she had to pay 1M in damages.
Emotional,
the psychological torture, and the inconvenience. But they were able to pull up MM statements.
Mobile money.
She had even given him a budget. I think she gave him a budget of 5 million for her intro. And he's like, it's okay. She even asked for more money now. I don't know if he had parted with that money yet. But
let me tell you, the emotional damage cost can be draw what he had spent.
Yeah.
By the way, 1 million is not enough.
She's only paying a little more than 10.
But this raises the question for me, guys, honestly speaking. I'm putting money in you. We've made an agreement. Marry me, I'm going to put the money in you. Bichi. Hopefully I'll put other things in you later.
Don't.
This is those things are happening concurrently.
Yeah.
Everything I'm putting in you is the same time.
Now I'm putting legally. Because
yes, suppose you just say now on paper.
Yes. Imagine, I'm telling you.
Wouldn't it be unfortunate if she's like, no, I'll sleep with you after I graduate, and then she does those things?
Maybe that was the 47 guns.
But don't think about it.
Maybe the channel also held. Says you are joking.
You're joking. I put money in you to get married, and then you turn around. And I think the courts did a fantastic thing. Of course, I'm heartbroken. You can't fix my heart.
That's what I'm saying. The emotional damage should be way more than just that 1 million that they gave. Because I mean, you can imagine for 5 years, I put my life on hold. If anything, my life was to work for you, for my future wife.
Right.
So not only have I lost money, I've lost 5 years of a partner. My friend, that's not equating to 1 million shillings.
That's actually 1 million is very little.
Very little.
It's very
So now he has to start afresh. Yes, he's got his money back. Fair enough.
But even if
he had put that money in bonds, he would have 15.
Yeah.
So then he has to go back to
So he has just got what he spent.
5 years lost.
He start afresh looking for a new band. Knowing him is going to go back to high school, start afresh. No, we are going to school.
And nothing. I bet now he's going to find someone. He's going to be in the LDC tent.
It's good.
The
he's going to go from the corporate world. Let me go to a law firm.
Yeah.
And wait outside. Single people.
But now he's
want ready work.
But those ones he has to pay more. That is more expensive.
But you're also making money, so you won't be as expensive.
So you won't be that nini. You're educated already. You're also earning some common. If you really want a lawyer, that is.
Sign here, here on the dotted line, and here.
If I were him, I'd go
Even
for the next LDC graduation.
No, you may find he's done with educated people. Said Chiziwu was educating this woman. When she was dense, she was ready. Then I made the mistake of taking her to school. She came back with English and wanting people who speak better English than
me. And he chose somebody with the name of Fortunate.
And what
irony is
you and your brother are the ones who give
standard and Vatoro.
Fortunate, patience,
Fortunate,
innocent. Those names.
Fortunate,
and they are never the names that you give them. Now see, it's just unfortunate.
Unfortunate for you, sir.
He took her from denseness to smartness, and then the smartness ate him up.
Yeah, and unfortunately.
We're talking about smartness. The PLE results came out recently.
Oh, Lord.
And first, let's clap for our people because they did so much better than the last.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We did better than last year.
The performance was better than 2020 because 2021 we didn't have PLE, remember?
Because we were COVID.
Yes. So
how much better did we do this time?
But understanding that, when you've lost a year of not studying anything as a 10, 11-year-old, like you do nothing for a whole year. the next year you are categorically more stupid.
Because you've
So
been on
the
downside.
results for the year after COVID were they were guaranteed to be poor because the brain cells had shrinked drastically.
They were better.
Than-
On the whole. On the whole, yes.
Better than? No, I'm saying this
Better
time.
than 2020.
I know, I'm
Okay,
saying
okay,
I'm talking
okay.
about 2020 because 2019 we didn't.
2021 we didn't.
Yes.
2020 we did. 2021 we did not.
Uh-huh.
2022 we did.
And 2022 was better than 2020.
Yes.
Can you give us some figures, Anne-Marie? Like, what were the figures like? What were we?
So, let me see if I can get the actual figures. 832,654 sat this time versus the
About
700.
a million.
Not a million.
No, it's 830.
A bit shy.
100 more than last time.
Oh,
100
sorry,
came more than last
100
time.
came
Okay.
more than last time because last time was 700 and something in 2020. The ones who passed this time was 714 something versus 650
Okay.
of 2020.
Oh, 20. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so it's
on
about the
whole,
same.
we did well, but private schools did better.
Private
The
school,
UPE schools.
don't private schools always do
Some
better?
did. Some did. The UNEB schools, they did.
Private UNEB schools.
Private UNEB
Oh,
schools,
okay.
they closed.
But Anne-Marie, don't private schools normally do better than
Then what? The
public
UPE?
schools? Or UPE or PLE or whatever it is?
Well, then that brings into the debate of is UPE actually helping everyone? Because the idea of UPE is to balance the scales of the people who can afford the private schools and those who are struggling to get an education.
Well, the purpose of UPE is to reduce the illiteracy levels of the country.
Bonna basome.
Bonna basome. Now, understanding the numbers, student vis-a-vis teachers, it's almost impossible to say that it's a fair playing ground between UPE and private. Because private, you can manage the teacher-student ratio. But if you scrap off UPE, you're not saying that we're scrapping off successful people, we're scrapping off literacy levels. Being able to read and write.
And this is
You don't have to be successful to be able to read and write.
And this is for universal primary
Education. Yes. The ability to read and write. That's literacy. That was the whole purpose of UPE. Free education to improve our literacy levels as a nation. Not to increase people who pass. That's on you.
Just literacy levels.
My guy, can you read and write? Yeah, as a government, we have done our part.
I think that's a very bare minimum, if you ask me.
Which
It's
is
not
what-
even a minimum. That's
But you see, the
just
thing
read
after,
and write.
You see, the thing after that is personal interest. You see, the
Yeah.
private schools make sure that even the guys who are suffering, we take time to, you see, now this one is a bit slow.
right.
Then let's push, let's get a
Right.
private tutor.
Right.
Of course, it's coming at a cost. Now here, government is paying. After that, it is the personal student to say, I'm
It is
on
on
UPE, I will succeed on this free education.
But then,
Okay, good.
will they succeed though? Because the teachers of UPE are also at that standard.
There was a guy who gave
they can read and write.
there was a guy who gave a decent argument, and this is one we shall have another day. When you go for a job interview in any established firm, globally, Uganda and otherwise, your UC, your UPE, your PLE, UCE, UACE, and UCE results are barely looked at.
What job
So
actually looks at your
so
PLE?
what do they look at as your yardstick?
Your graduation,
Your
degree,
undergrad, postgrad,
postgrad,
master's,
blah, blah, blah.
So are you
PhD,
saying
da, da, da,
then
da.
in that case UCCSE, UPE?
The guy just simply said they are barely looked at, which brings the question of na yetu fachi.
Basically, what he's saying is just pass. Just pass.
Just get the bare minimum pass. Where it will matter will be the degree of choice, how you
Undergrad.
perform there.
That is when the conversation will start.
becomes relevant.
Okay, guys, then it makes me think, if you as a parent, and even the Minister of Education, who doubles as the First Lady of the Republic of Uganda, or is it vice versa?
Was that necessary?
I'm just saying, isn't she?
Yeah, but was that part necessary?
But I'm giving her all her titles.
But we're discussing our education portfolio.
Yeah, but you must give her all her titles.
Okay.
She is the Minister of Education.
Gaetano,
and
who
Sports.
was the last round, who doubles as and then there's also the other guy.
Thank you.
Then the other guy.
Yes.
The guy who showed you.
Okay, go on.
Yeah.
Who is introducing
Isn't she also the First Lady?
Continue. I was just checking. Go on.
Yeah. Thank you for my title.
Yeah, please, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Gaetano Abi.
Go with answer.
Gaetano won the last round. We're just doing your take.
Oh, that's not necessary. Can I make my point?
Okay, fine.
Hey, you guys, you really know how to
Go with and say.
No, you
don't say something you're not ready to continue.
You don't have to, and then just come on. The first lady, who is the first lady?
You can't help yourself.
Okay, the
Minister of Sports.
Minister of Sports
Education.
and Education said that parents need not come down hard on their children if they don't get the grades necessary in PLE. If they don't get good passes and all of that, you don't need to come down hard. If anything, encourage them, nurture them, and applaud them for their efforts. Which I was very happy that she said, because a lot of parents would be like, no, PLE, how could you do this? Maybe some parents will come down hard on their children, which is wrong. And it goes back to your point. PLE is just the beginning. There's just so much more you can do. It's a good stepping stone. Yeah. All right. But now when you say that really PLE doesn't really matter.
Let me tell you the two things that matter in all the 4 subjects you do in primary. 2, English and math. That's all you need to pass.
If you think about social studies, we did Gipiri and Nabong. Have you guys used those things since?
I thank you. Even in science.
The spear and the bead.
You might not use all that. The entire history, social studies. Those two are just information, just get your mind working. That's it.
To open up your mind.
Just to keep it active. But the 2 things you must pass are English and math. Even in S4, S1 to S4. Yes, if you decide I want to be a doctor, you can focus on that side of things. If I want to be an arts person, I can focus on that side of things. But again, the 2 things you must pass, English and math.
Sure, sir.
So everything else is a waste of time?
Because thereafter,
or is it just
not a waste of time, but don't lose your head over
don't lose
it.
your marbles because you didn't pass them.
It's not a do or die situation. It's okay.
In Kenya, they were actually saying, there's a guy, the cabinet secretary, who is minister, said that they want to ban night preps in schools.
Agreed.
Night prep and morning prep, morning assembly prep things.
Agreed. Okay, that stuff is ridiculous. For a child to be in class at 6 a.m.
Then meanwhile you slept at 11 or 10.
Yes, because you had night preps the night before.
Yes.
What is that?
Then you have to wake up at 5, then do exercise, then go for prep. Then my friend.
And then you go through an entire day of classes, come back to the dorm to wash your uniforms and whatever to go back to preps. At what
3 months,
point?
then you examined.
At what point can a kid be
Grow.
a kid?
Yeah.
Like just
Actually, I've just pulled out that Education CS Machuga bans morning and night preps. Says classes should begin at 8 a.m. and end at 3:45 p.m. This was on the 30th of January, 2023.
Agreed.
So based on what we told you, should we do the same?
Agreed.
I've always had a problem with seeing young children walking so early in the morning. It's actually dark. And they're walking to school, going to school. You're like, guys,
that's the time you go to work, yes.
Yeah, and I'm seeing
I used to go, I'm like, this is unnecessary.
Kids.
But it's because class only starts at 7. Then they have to walk the distance, which means, and the school is far from home.
No, it's just, it borders on child abuse.
Guys,
it really does.
Can I read something to you?
Go ahead.
That the Lord Mayor, Elias Lukwago, said, our Kampala Lord Mayor. He has expressed his disappointment with the declining standards and poor performance of public primary schools in Kampala, calling for reform in the education system. Apparently, Kampala did very poorly.
Yeah, the kids are busy chasing around Bobby Wine instead of going to school. They are watching football matches of KCCA versus Viper.
Anyway, I don't know about that. But Marcus, you didn't have to go there. Stupid man. No.
Why is Kampala the problem?
He expressed his dismay with the performance of the 79 public schools in the recently released PLE results, observing that of the 38,105 candidates, none scored an aggregate 4, with about 5,000 pupils categorized as having failed, deeming their hope of progression with education. And basically he said, this presence of free education must have caused poor performance of government primary schools within Kampala.
No.
This is not okay in the head.
No.
You can't blame the free education on that.
You see,
free education helps
what
now.
Free education does, it does not give quality.
Of course not.
That's what you were saying.
It's across the world. Free education is My guy, I've just told you as we are going to give you the basics. The rest is on you as a person. And those numbers, the detriment of those 5,000 kids who failed completely is probably at its worst here in Kampala, which goes back to my point. They were busy doing what?
Don't say it again. Don't say it again.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to ignore what you
No,
just
but
said.
he's absolutely wrong for that. How is UPE to blame?
He qualifies it. Can I qualify what he qualified?
Are you reading verbatim or are you going to explain what you're saying?
This is what he said. UPE has been piloted for so long and government has failed to make meaningful investment in the critical sector, resulting in near collapse of a hitherto, what's this word? Hitherto.
Read the word.
Hitherto good public schools. He said, adding that government should swallow the bitter pill and inevitably revert back to the easier status quo, the challenges therein notwithstanding, at least for Kampala. Now, this is where it gets interesting. He said, the continued deterioration of education standards in public schools in the city is largely due to underfunding by the central government.
But then his statement was UPE is to blame for the poor results. Now he's saying government is to blame.
I said he
qualifies. Let me go back to the statement he said earlier. We should revert to status quo. Do you remember what status quo was before UPE?
There was no UPE.
Everybody fights for their child.
And they can't afford it.
So there are 38,000 kids who went to school. 38,000 minus 5K is what? 23K.
38 minus 5K, 33.
33K. 33K passed.
Yeah.
If you cancel, you have cancelled the hope of 33,000. That's just in Kampala. Maybe of those 33K, only 1,000 will be able to pay for education.
Yeah.
Okay? So the question is not whether or not we should scrap, because that's what he's suggesting, which is rubbish.
No, he didn't say scrap.
He's
saying you need to add more funds.
Listen,
to
every year, because of our population problem in this country, like I said, every family on U-Boat stats is 6 children in a household.
We are busy fucking.
We are busy pouring it in and not pouring out. So children are being born. In this country, when I do Zara,
we don't know how to.
Nothing. Now, because of that, every year government budgets an extra, I think it was 17 billion on UPE. Why? Children are more.
Okay, all right.
Last year you said the UPE number was 700-something thousand. This year, 100,000 more. Next year, that's going to be the number. The budget is not remaining the same. It's increasing based on the number already.
Then you need to make the adjustments where the adjustments are due. Because listen to this. According to him, each child is allocated a paltry 9,300 shillings per year.
Yes, but you are
in comparison to countries in Kenya, South Africa, Britain, Norway. How is a child supposed to?
But is our economy performing like Kenya? We are not performing like Kenya. We're not performing like Britain.
My dear, don't be stupid. When you have an economy, you adjust accordingly as time goes on. Roads are becoming more damaged, it costs more. You adjust. You need X amount for you adjust. So adjust accordingly for education as well.
No, sir. So that's not how it works.
Unfortunately, that is how it should work.
No, that's not how it should work, sir.
Of course it is, Marcus.
No.
If you remain here, if you stay here and you have more children and you're giving them the same amount of money, in fact less, because now there's more children, what are you doing? This is education.
This is the price. This is the price I was paying. This is the amount of kids I was having. Listen, guy.
I'm multitasking. I'm listening and drinking my beer.
This is the number of kids we have now. This is what we're paying for this number of kids. We have this number of kids.
So adjust this one.
Yes, we have adjusted. We're not adjusting how much we're paying, but we have adjusted to accommodate the difference in increase of children. Because you kids are going to keep growing. If we increase the amount of money we're paying per child, we will not be able to cater for the number of children.
You have to make that adjustment.
That means other sectors are going to suffer. It's not the only thing we have to worry about as a nation.
That's why
you're the same guy saying we don't have healthcare. You're the same guy saying we don't have roads. You're the same guy saying we don't have security. You're the same guy saying we don't have Simani medicine. You're the same guy saying we want more girls. You're the same guy. May please.
Want more girls?
We have
Where is the money going to come from? Where is the money going to come from?
Where is the money going to come from?
The money the people corruptly steal.
Now you're going back there. Now you relax, please. Understand how
exactly. That's where the argument is to be taken.
Anyway, at the end of the day, overall,
and anybody who sides with the Lord, we need to credit you.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Give me back my beer. Give me.